Hi everyone, I am so excited because my cousin Tara, who lives in Seattle, has sent me 6 boxes of cereal. Why is that a big deal? I will tell you later on. But have you ever poured yourself a bowl of cereal and wondered, am I starting my day off right? Well, today we are uncovering the truth about breakfast cereal. Are they a healthy choice? Are they a sugary trap? Or is it just something a little more deeper than that? Let's dig in. First off, let's talk about what breakfast cereals are. They come in many forms, as we know: flakes, puffs, granola, and more. Which one is your favorite? Not all cereals are created equal, though. Some are packed with sugar, while others are loaded with some fiber and nutrients. Breakfast cereals have a way of tapping into our collective psyche, invoking memories of Saturday mornings spent watching cartoons and devouring a bowl of sugary goodness. But it's not just kids who can't get enough of these tasty treats. Many adults, like myself, find themselves drawn to the same cereals they loved as children, and it is hard to resist the allure of that familiar crunch and flavor. So what's behind of our enduring love affair with breakfast cereals? One major factor is the psychological appeal of these treats. Let's face it, our brains are wired to respond to instant gratification, and cereals deliver on that promise in spades. They're quick, easy, and offer a comforting sense of familiarity. Add that to the fact that many of us have a strong emotional association with certain cereals, and that's tied to memories of childhood and a sense of carefree simplicity. And it's no wonder we find ourselves reaching for the same old favorites time and time again. Another key factor at play is the sensory experience of eating breakfast cereals. The combination of textures, from the crunch of the toasted oats to the sweetness of caramelized sugar, is a major draw for many of us. And let's not forget the variety of flavors on offer, from sweet treats like Fruit Loops to more savory options like Cheerios. There's something out there to suit every taste. But beyond the obvious appeal of taste and texture, there's something deeper going on. As I mentioned earlier, many of us use breakfast cereals as a form of comfort food, relying on the familiar rhythms of a bowl of cereal to soothe our frazzled nerves and provide a sense of reassurance in a chaotic world. Then there's that nostalgic factor, which plays a huge role in our love for breakfast cereals. Think back to your childhood. Chances are there was at least one cereal that you just couldn't get enough of, and that memory has stuck with you to this day. Maybe it was the bright colors and cartoon characters of the box, or the thrill of pouring a fresh bowl and digging in. Whatever that reason is, there's no denying that breakfast cereals tap into a deep well of nostalgia that is very hard to resist. So let's talk about doing it a little healthy. Let's start reading the labels. Now, if you're serious about the ingredients and you want to make sure your favorite is one of the healthier ones, there are things you can do when choosing a cereal so you don't have to give it up. It's crucial to read that nutrition label. Look for grains as the first ingredient and be cautious of added sugars. A good rule of thumb is to aim for cereals with less than 10 grams of sugar per serving. I did my research. The nutritional value, but what about the ingredients themselves? What is it about breakfast cereals that make them so irresistible to our taste buds? One major culprit, of course, is that sugar. We mentioned many popular breakfast cereals are packed with added sugars, which activate the brain's reward centers and release feel-good chemicals like dopamine. Let's break down that nutritional value. I did some of that research, and many cereals are fortified with vitamins and minerals, which can be beneficial. However, some lack protein and healthy fats, leaving you hungry soon after breakfast. So you can pair your breakfast with some milk, yogurt, or fruit. That can help balance your meal. Now, for the bad news, I must mention some ingredients found in popular cereals in the US are banned in Europe because of some of the ingredients they contain. In Europe, strict regulations have led to the banning of certain additives and chemicals that are still allowed in the US. Let's take a closer look at what these ingredients are. BHT butylated hydroxytoluene. This preservative is used to prevent fats from going rancid, but studies suggest it may be linked to health issues. Propyl gallate, another preservative, propyl gallate, has been associated with potential carcinogenic effects. Artificial food colorings, like Red 40 and Yellow 5. These synthetic dyes are often linked to hyperactivity in children and other health concerns. Azodicarbonamide, commonly used in bread and cereals. This chemical is banned in Europe due to its potential health risks. As awareness grows about these ingredients, many consumers are taking action. Protests are happening across the country with people demanding safer food options and more transparency from food manufacturers. Activists are calling for a change in regulations to align more closely with European standards. I myself have decided to limit my intake of these cereals, although I love the ones I grew up with. What are some healthy cereal options? Well, look for brands that offer some high fiber content, low sugar, and whole grains. Some great ones include oatmeal, bran flakes, or even homemade granola. Marketers have long known that breakfast cereals are a gold mine, and they've developed that arsenal of tactics to keep us hooked, from the catchy slogans and memorable mascots to the strategic placement of cereals at eye level in the supermarket aisle. It's clear that these companies know exactly how to push our buttons and get us to reach for their products. And let's be real, it definitely works. How many of us have been tempted by the promises of a limited edition flavor or the allure of a new and improved recipe? That's me. It's a clever game and one that we often find ourselves playing along with, whether we realize it or not. Now, I mentioned why this was a big deal for me. My cousin Tara lives in Seattle and has access to all the major brands that never make it to the U.S. Virgin Islands in the Caribbean where I live. And of course, we are U.S. territory, but we don't get some things. And she and I share a love of cereal since childhood, so she makes sure that I stay in the loop, and she sent me all these flavors, some I've never seen in my life. So like a kid, I can't wait to turn on some cartoons, comedy, or shows that remind me of my childhood and enjoy a bowl of cereal, even though some of these might have a little more sugar than I would want. At the end of the day, our love for breakfast cereals is a complex interplay of nostalgia, taste, and marketing savvy. Whether we're driven by the comforting rhythms of a familiar routine or the instant gratification of a sweet and crunchy snack, it's clear that these treats have a hold on us that is hard to shake. So the next time you find yourself reaching for a bowl of your favorite cereal, take a moment to appreciate the clever marketing and psychological tricks that have got you hooked. Breakfast cereals can be healthy if you choose wisely, and always check the labels. Like we mentioned earlier, always check the labels, and don't forget to add some protein and healthy fats to your breakfast. Remember, a balanced breakfast sets the tone for your day, my mother always says. Thanks for watching, and if you found this video helpful and fun, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more health tips. Hey, what's your favorite cereal? Mine? Well, Fruity Pebbles and Captain Crunch with Crunch Berries. Let me know what's your favorite in the comments, and we'll see you next time.